I'm really curious to hear what like your year one looked like and how that was our year ones compared, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and that's massive. Like, there's so many things there's so many like there's so many sources of toxicity when you start in entrepreneurship. Like, there's obviously most people, I think, me included, operate out of a negative energy, like 100%. I mean, it's like
I hate where I'm at right now.
Yeah, deep inside, I had to like really go inside, right? Why do I want to make so much money, right?
Right.
Like, is it because like I'm just acting out of my pure like purpose, or
that's a very interesting conversation. We're definitely gonna come back to that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, but even leading on that conversation, like, okay, why do I want to start the business, right? And then this, it's when you start working with an energy coach and like whatever, right? All this stuff comes up, like, oh, insecurities, like this like urge, or this idea that like I know I'm better than I know I'm better than most people. Like, I know I'm better than like humanity. So like, I don't want to be mediocre. Like, all this stuff comes up, man. It's like narcissism comes up, and like, what else? Like, like not allowing yourself to take a break is tough, man. Like, it's not, mental, like when it comes to like mental health wise, like that's not healthy, like, and when you take a break, not being able, not like feeling good, right? It's not good, it's not healthy. So all this stuff comes up. Now, when in that first year, you bury like everything under a rug, like you just like shove it under a rug and just want to get this done. Like, never.
I need to be productive.
For me, you're not conscious about all these things. It's just like, I'm just like working. Like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I just need to get to 10K a month. I just need to hit my goals and like cross them out. And when you do that, it feels really good. Like you work your ass off. Like you can finally take care of yourself, your loved ones, all that stuff. But then when you start making the money and you start hitting the goals, right? And all of a sudden you realize, like, shit, it doesn't feel like I thought it would. Right?
I'm kind of still in that stage right now. Like, one of the things so there's actually 2 points. But first is like, I was in a stage where I was making enough money to the point where I was like, oh, I need to get to 50K a month. But then I had no purpose to get there, right? So it's like, I'm not going to get there because genuinely, I actually don't want it. I say I want it, but it's not actually what I want. Because it's like, I don't spend enough. And I can take care of my parents if they need it already. So why make more, right?
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to really kind of like battle with for a while. And I still don't completely know, but I just know that I'm working on a trajectory to hit it right now,
Yeah. Like a lot of, the entrepreneurial journey, a lot of like, what it is for me, aside from the money, honestly, is a journey of self-discovery. Because if you don't go on that journey, then you don't really know, like, okay, what do I truly want to do, and what do I truly want out of life, and what truly makes me happy, but as I said, like, you start seeing, like, it's not normal that when I hit a goal, it shouldn't be normal that when I hit a goal, it doesn't feel very different, right? Like, sure, enjoy the process and all that stuff, but like, if you hit a goal, like, you should not just think about the next goal, right? Like, there's disconnect there, right? There's like you're never, because then you realize, like, are you ever going to be satisfied? Are you ever going to be fully like, like full inside? And then my previous self would think, well, I never want to be satisfied. I don't want to be full inside, right? Like, I always want to be chasing the next thing. That's like my old like entrepreneurial self. But then you realize, like, no, that's a really bad place to from where to act, right? Because it's not what you do, it's not what you actually do or what you achieve, it's the place from where you actually achieve it, right? Achieving a big goal, being fine with yourself and being satisfied with yourself is a much better fucking stage. Am I at that stage yet? No, right? but I know it is. I know it is, right? Because I have seen glimpses of like, hey, like I'm satisfied now. Like I'm happy with myself. Like I love myself. When I hit those goals, I'm like 10 times happier, right? Because it's just like, oh, cool. But I'm not like, this doesn't fulfill me. Like I need the next thing, right? It's like a drug, right? You're just getting like you can. And the funny thing is like, the money and all the nice things and all the successes and all the accolades, they act a bit like a drug, right? Like you're constantly getting hits of dopamine and like, people saying like, oh, that's really cool. And like, you're constantly getting these hits. So it masks all this like true emptiness, right? Or like the lack of work that you've done on yourself. Make sense? And you can go for years. You can go for years with those hits, right? But if you take everything away, if you take all the accolades, the success, the money, all that stuff, are you happy, right? If you take like that's the big question, right? That's the big question that I ask myself. Like, if I were to take everything away, the apartment, the friends, the family, the girlfriend, the everything, the cars, well, I don't have car, but all the stuff, all the trips, everything, right? If you take everything away, and the accolades and the followers, if you take everything away, what's your default state? What's your default state?
It's despair.
Right?
Yeah, I hear that.
Like it's all about that default state. If the default state is like unhappy, dissatisfied, empty.
So do you get jaded when you tick a box now? Like when you hit a goal?
No, but my goals have changed.
Okay.
Because another thing is like I used to have a really beginner entrepreneur, Jaime, right? Used to have a really like a very clearly mapped out plan, right? Everything was just happening like it should be happening. It was just like, I don't know how this is happening. Like I'm literally manifesting every single stage.
I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs,
dude, every entrepreneur, as bad as it sounds. Okay, not every entrepreneur, but 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Like we think we're better than you, at least in the beginning stages,
100%. And
Like,
I'll let you continue, but before I forget, right? Yeah. And then what that causes is like this taste and this for humanity, like your view of humanity, right? Have you asked yourself 100%. your view of humanity is like, it's so jaded, like you see people partying and you're like, oh, these people, like, why are they partying? They should be working, right? Or you see people like just having, you see people just having like a regular job. Like, let's just say you're like the barista, right? And you're like, this person is worthless, like,
whoa,
how are they not worth? I'm over exaggerating things, but like how you would treat them differently. Why would most people treat them differently than a like high flying CEO? Like why? And it's just like, maybe they're much happier than the high flying like super CEO. Makes sense? It's like basing character off of like what you have instead of who you are. Makes sense?
Like I see a lot of my uni mates and I'm like, yo, you're wasting your life, and I'm like having a go at them, right? And then I just realized, I was like, oh, but then they don't want the same thing. So now I'm like, I don't judge people as much. I still do. I'm trying to work on that, but it's like, it's tough to get rid of, because once you start, once you see it, then it's like, because you fall into the trap of comparison, right? And it gets a bit dangerous. But that feeling of superiority, like we're somehow like gifted to do more or whatever. Yeah. So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what I want people to take away from this conversation is like it shouldn't prevent you from like getting into entrepreneurship. It's just understand, like it should actually. I think it's really cool, the fact that like, oh, like you start asking yourself like, who am I really, right? Because I think like if you don't get the money out of the way, if you don't get all the goals out of the way, then you can't even access this other paradigm. Most people cannot, at least, right? Unless you're like really woke, like you cannot really like start questioning like, oh, like I've like achieved everything I wanted for this year in like 3 months, like what now, so that's why like I think like make the money, like do build the business, have all the accolades, because that shit helps, right? It gives you financial location, time freedom, right? But then understand that like, hey, there's probably more to that, right? Than life. And like, it's a really cool self-discovery journey. Like it's not to scare people off, right? It's just like, yeah, it's just cool, like to see like different people in like self-discovery. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs just like, again, I don't want to judge, but I feel like they get stuck forever inside that, like never being satisfied, never being content, never being happy with like who they truly are. They always need the accolades, right? But like, dude, people can love you for like who you actually are. But work on yourself, you know, like work on yourself. But like, I understand like there's, if you're constantly changing stuff, you'll get to the end of your life and you'll realize like you look down and you'll be like, oh shit, I probably missed a bunch of cool things as well.